Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. So just before I came on, I saw this ridiculous article about SEAL Team 6, 6 years ago, having a botched commando raid in North Korea. Around the time frame, I think just before probably President Trump spoke to North Korea's Kim Jong-un, crossed the line from South Korea into North Korea and shook hands with Kim Jong-un. And I think it's bullshit. Right? I think it's total bullshit. Now, why would something like that come out right now? So let me show you guys the article. It says U.S. commando raid. Basically, they killed North Korean civilians. Like no, and absolutely F no. Right? U.S. commandos killed North Korean civilians in botched 2019 mission, New York Times says. So 2019, what happened in 2019? It was around the time frame that, when was this supposedly happen? I'll get more details on this. But I'm going to say that this is complete bullshit. Since Trump's last summit with Kim in 2019, talks have fallen apart. So are they making sure that they don't, happen again? Kim Jong-un is basically, I think, is gone. I remote viewed him basically having died quite some time ago. Very unhealthy guy during his lifetime. Overate, smoked like 3 packs of cigarettes a day. It was insane. There were a lot of different people that looked like him, kind of like we've seen with Joe Biden and President Trump and all the people. So I said that he's gone. I said he was gone a long time ago, and I think that's one of the reasons why he and Trump were able to have that meeting, because that was not him. But for whatever reason, they're doing this. I think it's basically to cause some conflict. So we know that China, Russia, and now India are all aligned. BRICS, Brazil, all of them are aligned against the United States right now. So it would make sense that because North Korea is a satellite puppet of China, that they would pull something like this. And this is New York Times, so they're very suspect as well, but they're claiming their sources, citing unidentified sources. So anyone could make this up. Unidentified, anyone could have made this up, including current and former military officials who we know current and former military officials are compromised deep staters like crazy, with knowledge of the still classified details. The newspaper said President Donald Trump approved the operation. So will President Trump come out and say, no, this is a big pack of lies? Or will he let this roll until they figure out, who's doing this, what this is about, entrapment, and all kinds of other things? Sounds like, total BS to me. For one thing, having been a SEAL Team 6 guy, this is not a mission that we would do. This is a regular SEAL Team type of mission. Now, I've been to South Korea and up close to the North Korean border, and I can tell you that no one gets across the beaches. No one from either side without the other side knowing the moment it happens. All right. So for, SEAL Team 6 guys to like cross a beach, no, because the beaches are basically, heavily patrolled. They have like these rocks. They set these rocks up all along the beach. So if anyone were to come and walk, they would see, the rocks were knocked down, and it's no, like no, and no, like I said, right? It's a complete fabrication. So anyone that sees this should be aware that this is. So here's how they built this up. The civilians that supposedly these SEALs killed appear to be diving for shellfish when they inadvertently came across the detachment of SEALs as they splashed ashore at night. The American forces opened fire, killing all those aboard the small vesting vessel. Okay, so they're splashing across the beach, and there's a boat with people diving for shellfish on the beach, or what's going on here, right? So it's complete BS. Now, if guys were coming across, more than likely they would launch from underwater, from just below the surface, from a submarine, right? Or submarine, one of the SEAL delivery vehicle submarines that would have parked along the beach, and they would have exfilled from the beach. But that's something that SEAL delivery vehicle guys would do, right? So again, multiple bullshit from this. So you're probably going to see them try. So that's why people like I exist, to come out and knock this shit right in the teeth before it gets out there, guys. All right. Complete, absolute bullshit. Right. So whoever comes out, so U.S. Senator Mark Warner, top Democrat on the Intelligence Committee, said he could not confirm or deny anything in the New York Times report, but said if there's ever a time that we need Congress to do its appropriate oversight, it's now. So this Mark Warner, all right? So if they find out that this guy is part of this lie, he should have a military tribunal ASAP, right? But he's probably been, schooled in what he's going to say, how he's going to say it, and so forth. So spread it. That former Navy SEAL Team 6 guy said this is bullshit, right? So I'm saying it for all those guys that can't talk. They're probably at SEAL Team 6 right now going, what the F? But they won't be able to talk about it, right? And then there will be people that will say, well, they can't talk about it. That means they probably did it, right? No and no, right? So just craziness. All right, historic California gold mining town overrun by fast-moving wildfire. So what is this town called? What is it called? Oh, Chinese camp. Interesting, right? Chinese camp. So we have this report of SEAL Team 6 guys going into North Korea, which is a Chinese puppet. And we have a fire burning in a historic California town called China Camp. How about that? No connection whatsoever. Nothing to see here. Boy, that's interesting, right? Boy, they just kicked me right out for talking about that, didn't they? Well, who's running the world of AI? China. All right. So, yep. Yeah, Georgie girl. Hope MJ comes back. All right. So I did a workaround. So here I am in a totally different area. And I get hammered when I'm at home. I understand that because they know where I'm at. So, but I guess it doesn't matter. They just basically came in and hacked the hell out of me in Portland. All right, Portland, Maine. So it is something that these guys do. I don't know where I was. I was talking about the fires in California and how the deep state's not making a lot of money. The China fire that's going on right now. So they're lying about SEAL Team 6 doing raids in Korea, North Korea, China, puppet. And now we have Zuckerberg. That's right. Zuckerberg and Gates at the White House. So what's that all about? Right. And you know, that saying, keep your enemies close, right? Keep your enemies close. I think that's pretty much what we're seeing there. Now, this is what Steve Bannon said. Steve Bannon lost his mind about this, but I'll give you my insights. I think it's something that probably the White Hats wanted to have happen. All right, keep your enemies close. All right, Sun Tzu, Art of War.
Zuckerberg, that guy should be in prison. He should be in a cell.
All right, Zuckerberg, I think, is gone, and I think Bill Gates is gone. So it's all just a show, guys. It's all just a show, and it's basically poking at China, who own both of them, right? So it's a big China thing that's going on right now, obviously.
Bill Gates, on a day that Bobby Kennedy gets, that Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, is ripping his face off in front of the world, you're going to have Bill Gates, Mr. Vaccine? What in the hell are we doing? Whoever set that dinner up should be perp walked out of the White House today.
All right. So I don't know the big story about, why these two knuckleheads were there. They were there with they're basically trying to beat China in AI, guys. Now we know that Zuckerberg was part of stealing the 2020 election, right? This is not Zuckerberg anymore. This guy that's playing Zuckerberg does not look anything like Zuckerberg, right? And then you look at Bill Gates. I don't know what height Bill Gates was, but he looks like a little man next to Melania. Of course, she's supermodel tall, but when you see the picture of the two of them together side by side, I think that's a tell as well. All right, so let's play a little piece of that. These guys at the White House basically having this conference. This is where America is going, guys. So you see Zuck and you see Gates over here next to Melania. So they're going to do a little bit of talking. Then I'm gonna bounce this around a little bit. But it's top tech CEOs at the White House. This is where America is going, guys. A lot of you guys are talking about want the med beds, you want free energy, but you don't want to believe that these two former puppets of China could be involved in that. They're not going to be, but the companies that they were once part of are going to be, right? So this is where this is going.
Take you out to a live image right now. We do have President Donald Trump at this dinner that we were told would be closed press. But as you can see, we do have cameras. Mark Zuckerberg right there seated next to the president.
Don't forget, Biden was the one that prosecuted that lawsuit. You know that, right?
Look, it's a long process. I appreciate that your administration had a constructive dialogue, and we were able to get it to some
Right.
of resolution. I would echo what Sergey said. I think the AI moment is one of the most transformative moments any of us have ever seen or will see.
Yeah, so this is Sergey. He's big into the AI, guys. So AI is going to be the future. Now, do we want China to win the AI? We know if China wins the AI, it's not going to be good. All right, so that's why they're pushing. That's why we have the China camp that's burning in California. That's why we have this false report of SEAL Team 6 trying to go across the beach and shooting up civilians in North Korea. Complete BS, of course. So we're going to beat them, but they're going to do games because they tried to steal the election with Zuckerberg, China. They tried to implement a bioweapon with Bill Gates. So we're seeing basically two of the enemies of the United States, Bill Gates and Zuckerberg, sitting next to Melania and Donald Trump, front and center. So that means he owns them. He owns them, or whatever they had. They own it.
Lifetimes. So making sure the U.S. is at the forefront, and I think your administration is investing a lot. Already the AI action plan under your leadership, I think, is a great start, and we look forward to working together, and thanks for your leadership.
Great. Well, I'm in the second phase of my career, giving away all the wonderful money that Satya's good work has helped multiply a lot. But I think the thing that ties my first career that I still spend some time on because AI is so phenomenal, and my second career is.
Now, I want you guys to watch Melania. This is a tale. Watch how she reacts.
Innovation, innovating in health in areas like vaccines or gene editing. And the president and I are talking about taking American innovation to the next level to cure and even eradicate some of these diseases. He mentioned polio, which is one that we're close. We don't need new science on that one. For some like HIV and sickle cell, we do need new science, but the U.S. Has the seeds that in the same way that Warp Speed took those seeds and put them together, I think something fantastic can be done. AI for our foundation is that we want to adopt.
Okay, so AI is basically helping America accelerate very, very quickly. So the lead in AI is very important, and you're going to see this continue. Bill Gates or whoever we're going to see is involved. It doesn't matter. Whoever these puppets are, they're playing these two positions. It does not matter. So I say these two are puppeted now by the White Hats and Donald Trump.
Market, right?
It seems like it.
Come to think of it, how much is Google investing?
We are well north of $100 billion. In the next 2 years, it's $250 billion.
That's great. That's great. Great. We're proud of you. Very good. Thank you. A lot of jobs.
All right. So Google, who owns YouTube, right? Investing $250 billion. Right. So this is monumental. And they need to be able to afford that. That's why they have me on YouTube. So, yes. All right. So this is kind of the stuff we're going to see, guys. As someone that's been in this game for a very long time, they're going to bring these people in and parade them. Like Steve Bannon was saying, perp walk. So they just perp walk both these guys. Maybe Steve Bannon was saying that because that's kind of what we're seeing there. We're seeing a perp walk of Zuckerberg, or at least the body double of Zuckerberg and the body double of Bill Gates. Let me see. How tall is Bill Gates? Right, Bill Gates' height. Because he looked like a little shorty there. All right, Bill Gates' height. So this is how you do the research. All right. He's 5'10". So yeah, he's kind of a small guy. All right. All right. So but I'm 5'10". I'm not a small guy. I don't know. He looks really small there. So, but I don't know. Melania, I think she'd probably be 6'1", something like that. Supermodel tall. I don't know. I'd have to look it up, and maybe I will later. So let's move along. Venezuela, highly provocative moves. They're flying. They flew a jet, or jets, 2 jets, close to. Now, there's other reports that they flew it over U.S. destroyers. So again, it's a information war, right? So the information war is being built up on Venezuela, right? So Venezuela is about to get spanked hard, right? Kind of like Noriega was, kind of like Saddam Hussein was, all right? But the difference is, and with Noriega, you had a good president. And with Noriega, you had the Nazi Bush family involved, right? So that's why we were still involved in Iraq for over 20 years, right? 20 years in Iraq, for the most part out of there, but probably still have some bases there, I'm sure. We should be completely out of there. The Iraqi dinar, I think, is going to basically, go big. It's part of this, taking down the Fed. I think they're going to be part of it. So when the Iraqi dinar goes legit and breaks free from the American U.S. Dollar control, it's tied to it. When it breaks free and becomes its own currency, backed by its own money and all that kind of stuff, they have plenty of reserves built up. Of course, they're one of the biggest oil producers in the world. They, along with Saudi Arabia and probably some other countries in the Middle East, will become independently wealthy virtually overnight. Probably 1-to-1 with the dollar, and then eventually 3-to-1 to the dollar. So those of you like myself who have Iraqi dinar will probably do very well. All right, so the Iraqis will do very well. Of course, the Iraqis were, severely hammered by the U.S. Of course, they did have a very evil dictator, so he needed to go away. Maduro will have to go away. Maduro will go away. I've seen him. He's gone. Right? He's gone. He's not going to be there much longer. Now, timing can be problematic because I saw Assad. I said that Assad would go away, but I said Assad would go away 10 years before he did. So I don't think it's going to take that long for Iraq to basically go independent financially and Maduro to go away. Right? Everyone looking at Maduro will probably say, yeah, he's going to go away. Now, the reason why Assad took so long is because the deep state, they wanted to get rid of him, but Trump came in, right? And there were actions from other people to stop that. Now, eventually, the fact that Assad is gone is good because he was a bad man as well, right? He was a manipulator and so forth, just like Saddam Hussein and so on. So we're going to see freedom in the Middle East. That's coming. Independently wealthy, independent of the U.S. dollar and the manipulations that go along with that, the banksters and the military-industrial black hat complex. All of that is basically getting vanquished over time, but vanquished a lot faster than it's basically been maintaining and building and getting larger and larger, almost took over the world. All right, so its collapse is imminent. Now, when that collapse happens remains to be seen. So I think it's going to be very soon. And so what are we hearing from this highly provocative situation with Venezuelan jets? Let's play a little clip of that.
We learned overnight the Venezuelan military planes flew near a U.S. Navy vessel in international waters, a clear indication that tensions are rising as the Trump administration ramps up its fight against the drug trade. This morning, in what U.S. officials call a highly provocative move, the Pentagon says 2 Venezuela military planes flew near a U.S. Navy ship. It appears to be a show of force days after the U.S. military attacked this boat in the southern Caribbean, allegedly carrying drugs from Venezuela, killing 11 people. The Pentagon last night claiming the Venezuelan flights were designed to interfere with our counter-narco-terror operations.
All right, and another escalation, nearing escalation. I would say we're probably going to hear about aircraft carriers coming in that direction, moving in that direction. I don't know if they're there yet, but I don't know if they're going to make it public for a little period of time. But once we see them come out publicly and say that there are aircraft carriers moving towards Venezuela, that we're getting very, very close to basically taking Venezuela out, right? Now, another thing that we've seen, we don't really need to put aircraft carriers over there because we can fly jets down there from America very quickly. Puerto Rico also had a bunch of jets fly over, the F-35s at very high speed, top of the line F-35s. Massive number of them went over to Puerto Rico and staged, so they can move very quickly. And yeah, 10 F-35s in Puerto Rico, thanks to MGD. So I didn't know the number of them, but I would say it's probably going to be they're going to start staging more as time goes forward. So more and more. This is ramping up. So positioning and all of that is happening. Drug trade, America will control all of North and South Central America. And we will have free trade. Now, what is stopping that right now? What is possibly stopping that with Venezuela? What happened with Venezuela? Why did they kick out all of their people? Well, in Nicaragua, that's been a problem for a long time. It was a problem for Reagan, and he tried to do some stuff in Nicaragua. But who has been backing Nicaragua and Cuba and other countries down there? Russia. How about that? So we know that President Trump is kind of pushing on Russia, because Russia is trying to muscle in on the trade situation down in South America and Cuba and Central America and so forth. So Venezuela and Russia have a close and strategic relationship characterized by significant economic, military, and political ties, including Russian investment in Venezuela's oil sector. Now, the oil sector, you might remember that basically they took over the Russian oil, or not the Russian, but the Venezuelan oil. It used to have American and British, kind of same thing in Iran, right? So when they got kicked out and it was nationalized, that's when they came in and basically took down, did a coup in Iran. And that's what's caused a lot of problems with Iran ever since, right? Now, we very possibly could be seeing not the same situation, because I believe that situation was deep state. This is the good guys, basically taking out the bad guys who are being backed by Russia. So why would Russia want to back them, right? So they want the angle here in that area. Same thing with China. China's trying to get, coming in. They're not being good trading partners, all right? They're not being good trading partners. And they're trying to be like criminals and corner everything. Russian mafia is very bad. So is Chinese mafia, right? And I know American mafia is not all that great either, but it's a lot better than those guys, right? Italian mafia, there's mafia everywhere. CIA mafia, FBI mafia. So you name it, there's mafia everywhere. Mafia here, mafia there, everywhere, mafia. All right, so President Nicolas Maduro's government, which Venezuela views as crucial for maintaining its international standing and opposing Western influence. So that's Russia getting involved, right? Russia has also provided assistance to help Venezuela bypass U.S. oil sanctions and established hidden financial and logistical networks to facilitate this. So obviously that can't continue. All right. So you can't have one mafia come in on another mafia's territory, right? So the U.S. is like, that's our territory. No. Right? So, and I'm just joking around. Of course, the U.S. military is not mafia based, and CIA is not mafia based, and FBI is not mafia based. I'm just joking around. Yeah, not. So we need to basically get the baddies out of all of these areas. And if Russia is starting to come in and help people that are evil and bad, can't do that, Russia. I mean, we're letting you clean up the Nazis out of Ukraine. Don't come in our territory and poop, right? No. All right. So I think that's what we got going on as we see a lot of this basically start to push in that direction where any other country that's trying to muscle in, like China, which is absolutely trying to muscle in, and Russia, which is absolutely trying to muscle in, and the Palestinians, Hamas, and terrorist organizations in the Middle East trying to muscle in. It's a shit show down there, guys. We have to clean it up. Yes, Lakeside Laura, no pooping in our backyard. All right, so now let's go down the rabbit hole a little bit. So before I do that, now some of you guys know that I'm a remote viewer. Yes, I do remote view. Very, very good. I see things and I see them materialize. Now, do I tell you guys all the time, all the stuff that I see? Of course not, because some of the stuff I see, you would not understand. Some of you would, but not many of you. And it also can determine future things happening. So I'm very conscious of that. So you guys know that I was never part of a military organization, remote viewing. I learned my remote viewing naturally from American Indian processes, right? Yes, American Indians, everyone has ability to remote view, right? It is a God-given ability for us. Of course, they don't want us to have those abilities, so they dumb us down. And, it's part of the culture where anyone that has these abilities or develops these abilities, everyone has them. They come after them in different ways. Because I've told you guys how when I was overseas, I would tell guys, to the hour, almost to the minute of when attacks were coming. And I know a lot of people are like, well, all the military does remote viewing. No way. Because, look at me. I was just a poor boy from a poor family. Yes, but I didn't get in trouble. That's because I went in the military. So, otherwise, I probably would have. I don't know. I was a hardworking boy. I was bag boy, like I told you guys. Then I was like a busser in a seafood restaurant. It was my favorite seafood restaurant when I was a little boy growing up. I loved their hush puppies and their crab cakes, and I just loved to go there. It was a treat when my family would go there. And so when I grew up, to be 13, 14, 15, I started doing busing. And so I bussed at this place, and the owners were like, "You're such a hard worker. We want to make you, the guy that does the raw." I love oysters. So they were going to have me do the raw bar, and I was going to make a lot more money than I was making as a busser. So I was pretty excited about that. So I was like, yay. So I'm working hard and doing, weeks go by and doesn't happen. And then I come in and said, he's like a kooky old guy. And he says, "I tried to call you." And it's like, I don't have a phone. It was not back in the times of, cell phones. And we didn't have, recording devices on our recording machines back then. So he says, "I tried to call you, blah, 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 this time frame." And I'm like, "So you tried to call during a off time frame and I didn't answer, so you hired somebody else?" So I was like, "See ya." Right. So I went and worked just before I went to the Navy. I started working at a very exclusive restaurant first as a dishwasher, and then as a busboy. And it was a very high end Japanese restaurant where they did the bocce tables. And that was back when I was like, a teenager, 17. And just before I turned 18, I started working there. And so I had aspirations of going into the military and becoming a Navy SEAL, of course. And I told them that, and they were like very happy. It was like, oh, you can work for us until you do that. And so when I bust the tables at this all the top people in the political realm of Columbia, South Carolina would come and eat there. So I'm busting tables at all these highfalutin, people. And I was like on the football team, and I was doing good on the football team. And they're like, all these high level people are like, we're gonna make sure you become a fullback or a tailback in Columbia University. And I was like, oh wow, that sounds good. But I was having this dream about becoming a Navy SEAL, right? So I remember buzzing the tables and these high end people, So, and the Japanese, the guys doing the table, hibachi table, they make a lot of money. The guy that had that was the top chef, I think he had not a Lamborghini, but one of those high-end cars back in that day, right? I can't think of the name of it. They don't even have it anymore, but it was like not a Maserati, but it was something like that. It was really, really high-end car. And of course he had all the hottest Japanese waitresses, and there was one girl that played the piano. She was really hot, and of course that was his girlfriend too. So, but they would give me part of their salary, and I've never even heard of anything. So it was really at the end of the shift, we'd all sit down as a family, and they'd make a nice meal for us, and I loved them, they loved me. It was great. And then when I was going to the military, they threw a big party for me. It was really cool. So. Why did I go in that direction? Because I noticed that some of those rich people, rich bitches, were bitches, right? And not the women, the men, right? So I called them rich bitch because that was an insult in my mind to them. Now, today, the way I am, after having worked in that industry, if you're my waiter or waitress, you're going to get hooked up, right? So God has been good with me, and so I give it back, right? So now some people that I've noticed have, I guess they were in the same situation, and they got, they got traumatized by people that were rich that screwed with them, and then they became rich. And I've seen some of these people, and they're assholes too when they go into the restaurants. I'm like, I don't want to be around those people anymore. It's like, I don't want to go eat with you. He's like, yeah, there's something. This meat is not perfect. Look at that. I wanted it medium rare. This is like rare. And send it back, and I don't want to pay for any of this. I was like, Jesus, what happened to you? You were a waitress in college, but you worked at a like high-end restaurant like I did. Well, you got traumatized, so you're all effed up. So that's what a lot of these people are like. I just want to bring that in. Not a Datsun. No, of course not. Jesus. Austin Healey. No, that's good. Good guesses. No, Datsun 280Z. No, it was like 280Z. It was like nothing. I wish I could remember the name of it. Bugatti. Nope. DeLorean. Nope. Way more high end. So look back during that time frame. I don't have time to do it right now. It's just like top of my head. I used to remember what it was because it was so high end. What's it start with an L? Bricklin, no. Good guesses though, guys. Those are all high-end Pantero. No, Lotus. I think it was a Lotus. Truth or Mike. I think that's, you just nailed it. Lotus. What was that? Ferrari? No, that's good. Vector? No. Lotus. So look up a Lotus. Somebody put that in there. I can't do it right now, so I'm trying to. I got another show I got to do here in a little bit. So, but the reason why I wanted to go there, guys, VW Bug, yeah, right. Lotus of Spirit. I think so. I think Truth Mike. I think you're nailing it. So look up a Lotus of Spirit, and you'll see that it is like a super high end car for that time frame. So and that's I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Good call. Lotus of Spirit. Yep. And so he was a really good guy. The chef, the master, he was like amazing with knives. And I was like, someday I want to, and I was a white guy, and they were going to make me, before I left for the Navy, told them they were going to make me one of the chefs. Wow. A white guy. That's like, and the Japanese are like, they're not so good with, they must have saw some of my past life coming bleeding through, I think. So I was a samurai and all kind of crazy shit, and an emperor. So anyway, they treated me good. Like, yeah, Steven Seagal almost did Steven Seagal was going to come and teach I started the Navy SEALs hand-to-hand program. First hand-to-hand program was taught all the Navy SEALs. And Steven Seagal was going to come in and teach us, because we had the best of the best coming in and teaching us, and he got sick. He was hanging out with the Army Green Berets, Fort Campbell, I think, Kentucky. And they were at night flying around. He got sick. Big guy. Yeah, he gets sick just flying around the helo. Come on. But he didn't. He couldn't make it and teach us. And then I eventually left, and it fell through. So, yeah, pretty cool. Lotus. Yep. You guys got it. It's a Lotus. I don't think you can make those anymore. But Lotus Esprit, it was like super high end car for that time frame. He was like rich, because he made a lot of money at that high end place because of all the rich bitches, And they had like a couple different restaurants, and they did really well. But yeah, the reason why I want to say that is because these people are they're Lulu in their heads. Bill Gates and Zuckerberg, all those people, they grow up in these families that basically, corrupt their minds very early on, and then they get to those high levels of positions, and they're all screwed up. Now, President Trump, he was within all those people, right? So Epstein, it's like they're like beating around the bush. So everybody that's ever been president, guys, has always been sexually compromised, right? And I'm not saying President Trump has been, but I want you guys just to be aware that everyone, we've had Kathy O'Brien on, I've had other people on that are experts in this field that were part of that as children, as young women, part of that manipulation. And all of the presidents, but maybe not President Trump, at any time in his life, was part of that. Was President Trump groomed? I would say President Trump was definitely groomed to be in the position he's in, right? So now another reason why I want to talk about this is remote viewing. Remote viewing, you guys know that it was last Wednesday that I did a show with Rafael Conquista, and he came up with President Trump seems to be having these issues. And I was like, well, I never wanted to talk about this until it was the right time, kind of like I did during the last time he was president. I saw that in about the midterm that he was the president, he was going to get sick, but he wasn't going to die, right? I said it not early on. I said it later because people jump on that. And if you're not well trained, I've told people about some of this stuff and they bring it into reality. So that's one of the reasons why I don't always share everything. I share things that I feel that we can have an impact on with our consciousness. No, we're not gonna experience that. And so some of you maybe can help President Trump stay alive. I think he's going to live, but I do think he has a health incident. I think he's good for another year or so. You guys know he eats ice cream like almost every night. Ice cream is very bad for the heart, right? But some people, I mean, my parents knew that smoking cigarettes was bad, but they did it anyway, right? I've never smoked, right? Because I hated it, right? And because I had to be in a car while they smoked. I'm like, there's no way I'm ever going to do this. This is like torture. So I never smoked, right? Now, some of you know that cigarettes are bad, but you still smoke, right? You know that over drinking is bad for you, but you overdrink sometimes, right? So we do things that are not always good for us. And President Trump, who worked at McDonald's for a brief period of time and has brought in hundreds of hamburgers for like college football teams that have come to the White House that he invited. So he doesn't always eat well, guys. And, you know, he does have quite a bit of weight on him, but I think he's still good. I think he's still good into at least well into next year midterm is when I'm seeing he's going to have problems. And I saw the same thing last time. Now this time, now he's going to die. No, he's going to have a heart attack. Maybe. Now we talked about how he could probably fix his situation with the intuitive wellness products, but is he? Same thing, guys. You know, he's, you know, been eating ice cream every night for a long time. Is it going to stop? Maybe he has. I don't know. It's one of the worst things you do for your heart. And some of you eat ice cream and you're like, it doesn't bother my heart. And then you like, maybe not now. But and who knows? There's probably some things that I do that's probably not good for me either. I can't think of them. If I find what they are, I'm going to stop it. But I'm dedicated to being very healthy, right? So now here in Maine, I don't know if eating Maine lobsters is bad for you with butter. Oh my God. I had Maine lobsters last night, 2 of them, 2, right? They were like unbelievable, right? Now I've actually gathered quite a few California lobsters over my years in the SEAL teams and eaten them quite prolifically. And they are nothing compared to Maine lobster. So you people in Maine, you're spoiled. And I'm going to eat some more lobster. I'm going to get lobster soup, lobster salad, lobster etouffee, grilled lobster, fried lobster. I'm going to have it all, right? Maine lobster, right? It's unbelievable. So, yeah, Bubba Gumps. I'm going to Bubba Maine's, whatever. I'm going to eat lobster for everything. So love lobster. Yeah. I mean, who doesn't love lobster? So if lobster's bad for you, see, you know, I don't think so though. I feel pretty healthy. After eating the lobster. Throwing lobster in our faces. Yeah. Well, you can come to Maine and eat it. I'm not throwing it in your face. Just I'm enticing you. Come to Maine. It's the first time I've been to Maine. You people of Maine, I've had SEAL buddies that settled in Maine, and I can see why. It's absolutely incredibly beautiful here. I went down to Portsmouth Naval Shipyard area. Always thought, people used to talk about Portsmouth Naval Shipyard. It was like amazing, but I was in the SEAL teams. We didn't do Portsmouth. Regular Navy SEAL deals, regular Navy guys did, and they always talked about how great it was. And now I see incredible area. All right. So what else do I see? So that big talk up about people that are corrupted from birth, and I don't know if President Trump has been. I don't know. When I look at him, I always see, when I look at President Trump, I see he's under God's grace. If he's done something bad in the past, he's made up for it. So I don't see everything, and I don't want to see everything, of course. But I see him as a good man. All right, this interstellar object, 3-eye atlas. I reviewed that, and there was a time where it was like, all you can say is that this is, extraterrestrials are on this. And I'm like, okay, that's all I'll say. But now I'm getting that I can leak out a little bit more, right? And it's not going to make people go crazy. And I think we need to start to talk about this, because they will try and make this into Project Bluebeam. All right, they're already starting to talk it. Now I'm looking at space. Let me show you guys. I do the research for you, right? So, you don't always have to, but when I bring it up, you should do a little something. All right, look at this. Scientists capture interstellar invader comets. See how they start to see the MK Ultra information. Ooh, meditate on that. No, don't meditate on that. That's bullshit. All right, invader comet. So you're going to see, they're already starting to plant the seeds for this. Already starting to plant the seeds for this. I don't know what space is all about, but it's probably funded by the CIA. I don't know. So interstellar object 3I Atlas continues to puzzle scientists. They can't figure it out. All right. Yeah, right. They've been looking at it for probably years. All right. So I see intelligent life on that comet, as it, whatever they want to call it, interstellar craft. It's a craft. We don't have the knowledge of how to make a craft like that yet. There have probably been some people that are involved in those projects, but at this point, converting like a big piece of rock into an interstellar craft that can fly through, crap, and it's like it goes through, all kinds of places where there's debris, and it kind of goes around them. It's like, how does it do that? It's like it just knows it's there, and it just gets out of the way. It's a smart rock. Right? So, yeah. So it's getting a comet tail now as it comes closer. So it's a comet. It's getting energized as it comes into closer to Earth. So there will be beings that come and communicate with beings here on Earth. All right. And when I say beings, it could be some of their peeps that are already here. Right. It may not be interaction with us humans. So don't get your hopes up. Right. So we'll probably see, I believe, some kind of interaction, and that could be blown into a Project Blue Beam type thing. So anyway, I think it's important to start to seed out the positive information about this. There are positive beings on there. Most of them are still asleep, right? You know how they go into those little pods and they sleep while they have these androids and stuff that, take care of everything else. Because other remote viewers have said, just see some like non-intelligent life there. Those androids and stuff are pretty intelligent, right? So AI beyond belief that we are not going to see for probably thousands of years. So that's coming. So I remote viewed that, and that is coming, right? So I think it's important that we all, start to, look a little bit deeper into that, and admit that we're not the only ones in all of these universes out there. There's millions and billions of universes are out there. We're the only intelligent life anywhere. So get a clue. All right. All right, guys. Lots of love. Stay in the love vibration, and I'll see you guys next time.